Hi guys, and welcome to Trucking Along with Kearsey. That's me, your positive voice in trucking. First, I want to apologize for that part 1 video. When I was processing it, for some reason, YouTube kept cutting the video, and I don't know why. And after trying to send it up a few times, I just got annoyed with it. I lost my patience, so I put it up. But this part 2, I want to talk to the people that want to go build a fleet, that want to buy a bunch of trucks and have drivers drive for them. And the reason that I want to do that is because say, oh, I want to work for myself, I want to be in control. And then they'll say, well, come work for me. Well, I'm going to put some thoughts in your head about some things. If you're an owner-op or a fleet operator, or you want to be, people who are just coming into trucking and that's their plan, they want to build a fleet, they want to buy trucks. It's like everywhere. I just want to bring to people's attention a couple things that I don't think is discussed enough. You know, when people talk about buying fleets, they're talking about them coming off the road, other people running their equipment, they're talking about making all this money, and they're talking about what trucks they want to buy, and somehow really important stuff gets left out. So we're going to talk about that when I come back. There's only one friend that I was actually serious about going and driving for. And, well, maybe two. Okay, 2. But usually what happens is they'll say to me, well, you can come drive my truck because I trust you. I know you'll take care of my equipment. I know you'll be safe. And I'm like, okay. Thanks, that's a great compliment. But what makes you think I trust you? And I'm not saying I would say this to my friends, because I trust my friends, and honestly, no matter what happened, I could go work for an owner-op, be there for a month and hate it and come right back to Prime. I'm gonna get my job back. I could go anywhere. I have 4 years accident free. I have 4 years on time delivery. I can go anywhere. I have no tickets. I don't get tickets. So I can go anywhere. But I, as a company driver, would number one, have to trust that you're actually gonna pay me. That you're gonna have the money. I have to trust you as a business person to know what you're doing. I'd have to trust that you're going to take care of the equipment. As an owner-op or a fleet op, your goal is to limit spending costs. You have to limit those variable costs. And one of those is maintenance. With these videos is to give people food for thought. You know, I know that when lease and owner ops have asked me if I would go run their truck, they usually offer me $1,000 to $1,200. And you know, like, and I'm not just talking Prime people, because if I was at Prime, I would still be considered a company driver just working on the lease ops truck or the owner ops truck. So they would have to pay for all my benefits. I'd still have all my medical through Prime. Therefore, I myself, I hate change. I hate change. Okay? So I would need to find somebody, if I was going to go move and leave a job that I'm very secure in, and leave relationships with dispatch and road assist and all that, you would have to really sweeten that pot. And having somebody say to me, well, I'm going to go buy another truck So I want to put you in my 2017 Cascadia, and I'm going to pay you $1,000 a week, and I'll give you 2 weeks paid vacation a year. That's not going to cut it. And when I say that to them, they're shocked. They're shocked. No, that's not going to cut it. I get 3 weeks paid vacation. I get sick leave. You know, I get $1,500–1,600 a week. So, and it's amazing because they don't realize that. They think they're doing me a favor at $1,000 a week, and I find it laughable. So, number one, I have to trust that you're going to pay me. Number two, you're going to have to pay me a lot more than you expected. Number three, I have to trust that you're going to fix the truck. You know, and like I said, as an owner-op, you need to limit those costs. You're going to put used tires on the truck rather than new. I have an owner-op friend who wound up with a hole in her floor, and it was between her seat and her pedals, and it was going to be like $700 to replace the whole unit the way it was supposed to be, or $50 to just weld a patch. Well, a smart owner-op is going to weld that patch. Okay, but a smart company driver is going to look at that owner-op and say, can I trust this person with my safety? Can I trust this person to not duct tape and super glue the truck together to the point where I don't feel safe and I don't want to drive for them? That's a big deal. That's a really big deal. Because somebody like me, I absolutely know that I can take my truck into the dealership or into Prime anytime I want. And part of that is that the trucks are newer and they're under warranty. So going to an owner-op or a fleet of trucks that would be aged, as a company driver, I'm sitting here thinking, well, how long am I going to be down? Some people need those health benefits and other people don't. A lot of people have benefits through their spouses. I don't have a spouse, so I want those benefits. It makes me feel better. So if you're going to have a fleet, are you going to be able to afford health insurance? Because health insurance is really, really expensive. Where I come from, the same plan that I have at Prime, and this is one of the reasons why I really, really hesitated about going lease in the beginning. The same plan that I have at Prime would cost me $800 a month, $200 a week. So when somebody says to me, oh, I'm gonna pay you $1,000 a week, that's nothing. It's nothing. You know, and like one of the guys was saying, oh, you know, I'm going to pay $2,000 a week for somebody to drive my truck. That's really good money. That's $100,000 a year. I get it. It's good money. But if out of that $2,000 has to come my $200 health insurance, which is $1,800, and then all of the disability and life and all that, which is going to come to another couple hundred because it's not going through the group plan, then I'm back to making what I am here. And I'm probably going to be in an old truck, which here I'm in a 2020. You know, the trust has got to be a two-way street, because you have to trust that person with your equipment, with your freight, with your entire business. One major accident, one drunk driver, one stoned driver could falter your entire company. Okay. There's two other things that I was thinking about when I was watching Woody's video. For those of you who don't know, Justin Wood was a lease op at Prime. He became a lease purchase operator, bought the truck, wound up buying 8 trucks. Like 4 months ago, he made a video about how he bought his 8th truck. 2 months ago, he made a video about how he lost it all and his one truck was just auctioned off. And just recently, he made a video like last week where it was heartbreaking for me to watch this poor guy. It was heartbreaking. And it was a cautionary video. And he talked about how he knew he grew the fleet too fast. And he thinks that that was one of the issues. He also said that he would have created a customer base on his own. And that sounds great. But he didn't talk anything about collections of those customers. You know, customers don't pay right away. They expect everything on credit. So you're talking 2 to 3 months of operation with no money coming in. And because of that, people then rely on factoring agencies. Well, the agencies take a percentage. And you can look at it and say, well, I'm paying them to do a job, so it's just like an employee. And yes, that's absolutely true. But if those customers don't pay, there are certain agencies that will reverse that payment. So say you get $10,000 payment from them, it's basically a loan until your customer pays. I know people that, you know, after 90 days of their customer not paying, the factoring agency reversed the payment on him. He got stuck at his truck dealership while the truck was in the shop and he didn't have the money to get the truck out. So the bank is empty, the truck's in the shop, he can't get the truck out. What do you do? And it owes $15,000, $20,000 in repairs. What do you do? These are things you have to be prepared for. There are factoring agencies that don't do those reversals. I'm sure they charge more. I'm sure owner ops, you can comment below. I'm sure that you can answer those questions. You know, those are a couple things that I didn't look into. But something else that I didn't hear discussed at all with some of the various owner ops videos that were going around this week, nobody said anything about what happens when somebody abandons your vehicle and having a plan to recover that. Because one of the things that I've seen is that mom and pops do have a tendency to hire people that other companies won't hire. And unfortunately, some of those people are going to be unreliable. The mega carriers do their hardest to try to weed out people that would be irresponsible like that and not keep their commitment. And there's abandonments all over the place with mega carriers. So my question to you is, did you ever stop to think what you would do if you got a call from an employee in Florida saying, I quit, your truck's here, you know, the keys are in the truck stop at the TA, and you know, I'm done. I hate you, you suck, I'm tired of the over-the-road life, you don't pay me enough. Did you ever stop to think what you would do? You're gonna have to find some place to go park the truck that you have and pay someplace to have it parked safely, fly to Florida to get the truck that you're going to pick up, and then drive it back to wherever you're planning on parking it, and then fly back to go get the other truck. And you can say, oh, well, I'll just drive it. Okay, you drive it, but either way, you're most likely going to be towing a vehicle to a safe place or storing a vehicle in a safe place and perhaps doing it for 2 vehicles. You know, logistics is a big deal. It's usually in the title of the company too, but there's just certain things that need to get done, and I don't think people even ever consider or think about or plan for. When Woody was talking about, I saw in a couple of his earlier videos that he was saying you need $50,000 to start. Well, then later in the last video, he was saying $50,000 to start a company, and then later he said $50,000 after you already have your trucks. That's a big difference. And then, you know, and then he says, well, maybe $100,000. I personally think that whatever number you come up with, you should probably times it by 3 or 4 to give yourself some cushion. Not that anybody should really listen to me, but, you know, just food for thought. Like, hey, you know what? Maybe that's not a bad idea. Because, like, the truck abandonment thing happens. It happens. Finding drivers to put in trucks is not always easy. And if you do have a fleet and you lease them on to someplace like Landstar or FedEx, and you're running under their authority, then your employees have to go through their background checks. You know, that can be really hard to find. And I know at FedEx, for every failed background check my friend had to pay. And just trying to find people who pass drug tests, who pass the, you know, the background check, even as far as their DAC and their incidents. Know your truck too. Understand that the trucks are going to get older and you're going to spend more and more on fuel as time goes on. You know, make sure that you research the trucks. People think, oh, well, I'm just going to go buy this truck. Okay. Well, my 2017 International was a piece of crap. The whole stinking year was the Allison transmission sucked. It was a 10-speed and it sucked. And I loved everything else about it. It drove, like, the ride was smooth and, you know, the setup inside was great, but transmission sucked. There are a couple more things I wanted to bring up about owning your own fleet. Something that I really want you to sit back and consider. Okay. When I posted the video about the safety features and critical events, a lot of people said to me, oh my God, they micromanage you. I would never work for that company. And I just want you to think about this a second. In order for you to be profitable, you're going to have to become the very thing that you criticize, and you have to become a company that you already admit you wouldn't want to work for. Because you're going to have to micromanage your drivers. If you're going to have company drivers, you're going to have to micromanage those people to conserve fuel. You're going to have to micromanage their routing and their tolls. These are the types of things you have to think about when you're talking about trusting a driver. You know, you have to trust that a driver's going to tell you when maintenance issues need to be done on the truck. You're entrusting them with your equipment. And in order to be efficient, in order to be profitable, in order to keep your contracts with your customers where you're not paying late fees, because that is something that Woody brought up, was the late fees. You know, you're going to have to become a replica almost of these mega carriers that a lot of people become owner ops and become fleet managers, you know, because they criticize some of these larger companies. If you don't do that, you're going to lose. You're going to lose money. And something else to think about is, I was saying it only takes one driver for you to lose your business. Well, you know what? I, as a company driver, as a driver coming to work for you, I have to not only trust your business skills, but I have to trust the drivers you employ. Because that means that another driver could affect my future. So, for all of your future drivers, I'm asking you to really, really research and contemplate the things that you want to do. Really understand, like, I was trying to figure out what Woody could have done when he started having issues. First off, in my opinion, and I'm a company driver, but from an outsider looking in, to me, it looks like, number one, he shouldn't have expanded as fast as he did. He shouldn't have tried to buy 4 trucks at one time. It tied up too much capital. Number two, when his truck with the transmission problem went down, he was paying a driver every day for breakdown pay, and he was also paying the hotel room. He probably would have been much better off renting a truck and a trailer from someplace like Penske or Ryder. And even though he would have had that payout, he still would have made some sort of profit. It would have been better than paying a driver to sit and do nothing and paying for a hotel room. You know, you have to try to find solutions. And in my opinion, that's just 2 of the things that could have been done. And again, I'm no expert, but as somebody, I'm the target audience of a future fleet owner. I'm the type of person you want in your truck. I'm safe. I'm efficient. I'm concerned. I inspect the vehicles. I communicate well. I am your target audience. And I'm also not somebody who wants to go and be their own boss. Because I already feel like I'm my own boss now. I know people that aren't company drivers can't possibly believe that, but it's true. I'm as close to being my own boss as you can possibly get. But I also want to drive home that all of you who think that you're going to become owner ops or fleet owners because you want control, understand you're not in control. You're not in control. You can control how you react. You can control how you prepare, but there's going to be so many factors, and you're really going to have to trust those people that you hire. And please remember that those people that you hire will affect the lives of the other people you hire. So I hope that this video just gives people some food for thought. This is part 2. I'm gonna link part 1 at the end. I am doing part 3, where I am going to give you the numbers of a friend of mine who bought a truck, bought a used truck, had some repair issues, and I'm going to give you some staggering numbers where you're going to be shocked that, you know, when she looks back, she says she wishes she would have gotten a new truck instead of a used truck. And this is an experienced driver, so it's not just somebody who had no clue. You know, her husband and she run team, and her husband had been driving for 15 years, so I'm trying to give you information to help you to make better decisions. I really don't care if you become an owner op or a fleet op or stay a company driver or whatever you do. I don't care. I want you to be happy, and I want you to have information. And I also want you to go check out BOC Enterprises. I'm going to link him as well. because he has some videos. I want to talk to him about making a playlist of his different monthly expenses, because he did videos from month to month and broke it down exactly what he wound up spending, in addition to that year-end total that I had linked on my last video. So again, thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate all the likes and the comments and the shares. It's awesome. And let me know if there's any topic in particular that you want me to discuss. And as always, I hope you guys stay safe, and I hope to see you out here trucking along. Bye.